A Friday night full of rivalries and, as always, big performances. Congrats to Red River on the Cushman Classic win, Beulah on bringing home the Coal Bowl, Fargo North knocking out Fargo South, and Cheyenne claiming that hideous Ogre trophy thanks to their win over West Fargo. You saw it on Midco Sports. Now it's time for another type of trophy. Jody Norstedt here to unveil this week's Midco Sports Game Ball winner, sponsored by Farmers Union Insurance, and of course the top performers list. And speaking of rivalries, there's been a good one brewing out west the last handful of years between Grant County Flasher and Beach. And for the first time in 5 tries, the Storm quieted the Bucks thanks to Javin Friesz's big night. More on his performance in a bit. But let's start with the rest of the top performers. Thompson Jr. running back Reese 𝗕𝗹𝗹 broke out in a win over Northern Cass. 𝗕𝗹𝗹 carried the ball 19 times for 218 yards and a score. He also hauled in a receiving touchdown in the Tommies' 50-12 win over Northern Cass. Nice work, Reese. 30 miles away is our next top performer, MayPort-C-G's Ethan Bergstrom, who rushed for 4 touchdowns, all in the first half against Tri-State. Bergstrom also added a scoop and score off a botched punt. The Patriots are off to a 3-0 start. What did you do for your birthday this year? Charlie Beaver went to work. The Kindred Jr. caught 4 passes for 110 yards and a touchdown, and also returned a kickoff, 81 yards for the score. Happy birthday, Charlie. I'm sure your wish was to land on the top performers list. Beulah's Trey Brandt and Trapper 𝗕𝗪𝗀 sparked the Miners to a blowout win over Hazen. Brandt threw 3 times to 𝗕𝗪𝗀, 3 times, and lucky number 7 took it to the house on all 3 of those occasions, racking up 143 yards in the process. Brandt finished 7 of 13 for 236 yards and 4 touchdowns, along with an interception on defense, of course tipped by 𝗕𝗪𝗀. That duo has been dynamite this season. This next guy is probably my runner-up for the game ball. Shanley's Aiden Devine got injured late last year, and he has come out and run roughshod in the first couple of games this season. Devine rushed for 205 yards and 2 touchdowns, and also racked up nearly 70 yards receiving in Shanley's big come-from-behind win, upset win that is, over 3rd-ranked Bismarck. Devine is going to be a force this season, and the Deacons look like the real deal. They get a big one against Cheyenne on Friday. Nathan Kaufman of Mott Regent, New England had a big night. The Wildfire running back rushed for 234 yards and 4 touchdowns. He did it on defense too for the Wildfire, picking up a couple of passes on defense in the 46-8 win over Richardson Taylor Hebron. Blake Schaefer cracks this list again. The Wahpeton gunslinger is playing Madden against everyone else this season. He completed 20 of his 31 pass attempts for a whopping, or whopping, 318 yards and 6 touchdowns against Watford City. 3 touchdowns to Caden Kappas and a couple more to Tori Ulich. Look out for them Huskies at 2-0. They have more wins than the last 2 seasons combined. A couple of 300-yard passers back-to-back. Are you kidding me? Napoleon Gackle Streeter's Tucker Schneider passed for 350 yards and 5 touchdowns in a 30-point win over Kidder County. The former game ball winner continues to put up mammoth numbers and has the Imperials off to a 3-0 start. St. Mary's victory over Mandan came courtesy of the shoe of Nick Schumacher. The Saints quarterback doubles as the kicker, and he tossed a pair of touchdown passes and drilled 2 field goals, including the game winner from 21 yards out with just 12 seconds remaining. Scoring with your arm and your foot, what can't he do? Saints have a 1-versus-2 showdown against Jamestown this week. Lastly, Trey Wall helped Enderlin Maple Valley get into the win column for the first time this year by taking 8 handoffs, 102 yards, and scoring 3 times. He also passed for a touchdown and registered 10 tackles and an interception on the other side of the ball. Even more impressive is the fact this was all done in the first half. Congrats to Nathan Hoots and the Falcons program on the W. Well, let's swap helmets to present our Midco Sports Game Ball, sponsored by Farmers Union Insurance. Give me this Storm lid. Javin Friesz had the game of his life on Friday in Grant County Flashers' 44-36 win over Beach. The sophomore scored 6 touchdowns. Look at this stat line: 6 catches, 111 yards, 3 touchdowns, all those passes coming from his older brother Jace, an all-state quarterback, by the way. Then he adds 12 rushes for 130 yards and 3 more touchdowns. He was a menace on defense too, racking up a team-high 7 solo tackles. Congrats to Javin. You have a game ball coming your way. That's a wrap. Make sure you tune in to our live game of the week on Friday as Minot visits 4th-ranked Bismarck. Then at 10:30, the scores, the highlights, the reaction. It's Varsity Sports Live. We'll see you then.